Am I the a-hole for not letting a girl cut in front of me at the air pump and then taking my sweet time while she waited? So for context, I have an electric vehicle that is not large, but very heavy. The recommended PSI is about 10 lbs more than most cars of the same size. Mine have been getting low since the winter started pretty much, and it makes my drives feel bumpy and also impacts my range. I work a really high-stress retail job that gets craziest around Valentine's Day. My life has been such a whirlwind lately. I have been neglecting everything in my life to the point my mom actually flew down to come and help me with basic chores like laundry and cleaning. My car is also filthy, and of course I have been neglecting the tires. Well, after a long day at work, I stopped to charge my car, sat there for about 30 minuets. I knew I needed air, but just really wanted to go home. And then as I was leaving, I decided, no, I need to do this and to take care of myself and my things and convince myself to go back and put the air in my tires. I deserve it. I struggle with possibly some untreated mental health issues that impact my executive function, so this seems small, but was a big deal to me. Anyways, so on to the incident. This particular air pump is free and really easy to use, and I knew I wouldn't be back there for at least another week and hyped myself up enough to go and finally take care of this small task that has turned insurmountable for some reason for me. As soon as I start with the first tire, a girl pulls up behind me and is clearly waiting to use the pump. The way her car is positioned is creating traffic in the lot, so I let her know, hey, I'm actually doing all 4 of my tires. I might be a minuet. So she can pull her car around, maybe go inside, get a bag of chips, but my intention was just to be nice, so she wasn't waiting like that the whole time. She responds back with, can I just do my 1 tire that's really low? I was a little taken aback by this request because I was literally in the middle of pumping my own tires, and I just awkwardly replied, oh, I actually need to do all 4 of mine. She doesn't even let me get it all out and responds with a raised voice, mocking tone, I just need to do all 4 of mine. OMG, you're so F at asterisk. King slow. I literally was so confused, I just shot back with, I just got here. Then she pulled around right next to my car, and I started to feel really awkward and got in my head like I knew I shouldn't have done this. I should have just went home. I also get yelled at by customers all day long and had a particularly stressful day with a ton of escalations, and my nerves were so shot. This conflict was really the last thing I needed. Here's where I may be the a-hole though. By the second tire, I changed my mind and thought, just because my tires aren't visibly low does not make my need any less than hers. I knew if I let her cut me, I simply would have left and continued to neglect my own needs. And if I was her, I simply would have waited or went to a different place. It's not like this is the only air pump in our city. So I decided to take my sweet time instead of hands shaking, rushing like I was after the incident. I calmed myself down, slowly removed the air caps, put them in my jacket pocket, buttoned it, put the air in my tire, slowly unbuttoned my pocket and placed the cap back on. Took some time to look up at the stars in between each one and really made her wait at that point. By the time I was done, I looked at her face, and she was fuming, giving me the dirtiest look I've ever seen. I couldn't help myself, and for some reason just bursted out laughing right in her face as I pulled away. As I was leaving, I saw her tire that needed air really was fully flat, and I knew the pump wouldn't really help her, and she'd need to have the whole thing replaced. I also could tell she was in her work clothes too, and was probably also having a shift day, and felt a little bad. The thing is though, if she hadn't immediately treated me so nastily, I would have absolutely had a hustle to the whole thing. But because she screamed and cursed at me, I went slower than a snail as my own petty revenge. Reflecting now, while I still feel mostly in the right, a part of me wonders if I should have just let her cut me in the first place, or if I was the a-hole by going so slow after the initial conflict.